Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. Lily sat at her kitchen table, frowning at her phone. Another notification pinged. Yet another photo from Jeffrey, her ex-husband. She sighed, swiping to open the message. There on her screen was an image of an expansive walk-in closet filled to the brim with colorful clothing. Dresses in every hue imaginable hung neatly on padded hangers. Rows of high heels lined the bottom, arranged by color. Drawers were slightly ajar, revealing glimpses of silky lingerie and stockings. Lily's brow furrowed in confusion. Why on earth was Jeffrey sending her pictures of women's clothing? And so much of it. She zoomed in, studying the image more closely. The closet looked pristine and well-organized. Nothing like the haphazard mess Jeffrey's side of their shared closet had been during their marriage. She hesitated, thumb hovering over the keyboard. Part of her wanted to ignore it, to delete the message and pretend she'd never seen it. But curiosity got the better of her. She began typing. "Jeffrey, why are you sending me photos of women's clothing?" The reply came almost instantly. "Oh no, wrong number. So sorry, Lily. Please ignore." Lily raised an eyebrow. Wrong number? They'd been divorced for over a year, but she was still in his contacts. How could he have sent it to her by mistake? Before she could ponder it further, another text appeared. "Everything okay, Dad? Did you send it to the right person this time?" Lily's eyes widened. That message was clearly from their daughter, Emma. What was going on? Her phone dinged again. This time it was a photo of Jeffrey, grinning broadly as he modeled a floral sundress and strappy sandals. He looked happier than Lily had seen him in years. "Oops, wrong number again. Please delete, Lily." Lily set her phone down, mind reeling. The pieces were starting to come together, forming a picture she never could have imagined. Her ex-husband, the man she'd been married to for over 2 decades, was apparently crossdressing? She took a deep breath, trying to process this new information. Part of her wanted to laugh at the absurdity of it all. Another part felt a twinge of hurt. Had Jeffrey been hiding this from her their entire marriage? But mostly she felt curiosity. And maybe, just maybe, a hint of pride that Jeffrey was finally embracing his true self, whatever that might be. Lily picked up her phone again, fingers hovering over the keys as she debated how to respond. Finally, she typed, "Jeffrey, I think we need to talk." Across town, Jeffrey paced nervously in his bedroom, still wearing the floral sundress. He ran his hands through his newly grown shoulder-length hair, pushing it back from his face. Oh God, he muttered. "What have I done?" A gentle knock at the door made him jump. "Dad, is everything okay?" Emma's voice called from the hallway. Jeffrey took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. "Come in, sweetheart." The door creaked open and Emma stepped inside. Her eyes widened slightly at the sight of her father in a dress, but her expression remained warm and supportive. "Did something happen?" she asked, moving to sit on the edge of the bed. Jeffrey sank down beside her, burying his face in his hands. "I accidentally sent those photos to your mother," he groaned. "She wasn't supposed to find out like this. She wasn't supposed to find out at all." Emma placed a comforting hand on her father's back. "Deep breaths, Dad. It's going to be okay." Jeffrey looked up, eyes shining with unshed tears. "How can it be okay? Your mother must think I'm some kind of freak. What if she tells everyone? What if—" "Dad," Emma interrupted gently. "Mom's not like that. You know her. She might be surprised, but she won't judge you or spread gossip." Jeffrey nodded slowly, wanting to believe his daughter's words. "You're right. Lily's always been understanding. It's just, this is such a big thing to spring on her out of nowhere." Emma smiled encouragingly. "Then maybe it's time to have an honest conversation with her. You've been keeping this secret for so long, Dad. Don't you think it would feel good to finally be open about it?" Jeffrey considered her words, absently smoothing the fabric of his dress. It did feel freeing to no longer hide this part of himself from Emma. Maybe it was time to extend that openness to Lily as well. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. With trembling fingers, he picked it up and read Lily's message. Jeffrey, I think we need to talk. He took a deep breath and began to type. You're right. Can we meet for coffee tomorrow? The response came quickly. Absolutely. The usual place at 10 a.m.? Jeffrey smiled despite his nerves. See you then. He set the phone down and turned to Emma. Well, looks like I'm having coffee with your mother tomorrow. Emma beamed, pulling her father into a hug. I'm so proud of you, Dad. Remember, no matter what happens, I love you and I'm here for you. Jeffrey hugged her back tightly, feeling a wave of gratitude for his incredible daughter. Thank you, sweetheart. I don't know what I'd do without you. As Emma left the room, Jeffrey stood and moved to his closet, the same one he'd accidentally sent photos of to Lily. He ran his hand along the row of dresses, feeling the various fabrics beneath his fingertips. For so long, this closet had been his secret sanctuary, a place where he could explore a side of himself he'd kept hidden for decades. Now, that secret was about to be shared with the woman who knew him better than anyone else in the world. Jeffrey pulled out a simple black dress and held it up, studying his reflection in the full-length mirror. Tomorrow, he decided. Tomorrow, he would wear this to meet Lily. It was time to show her the real Jeffrey, all of him. The next morning, Lily arrived at the coffee shop early, her stomach churning with a mix of anticipation and nervousness. She ordered her usual latte and found a quiet table in the corner, away from prying eyes and ears. As she waited, her mind raced with questions. How long had Jeffrey been cross-dressing? Was this why their marriage had fallen apart? Did Emma know? She took a sip of her coffee, trying to calm her nerves. The bell above the door chimed, and Lily looked up. Her breath caught in her throat as she saw Jeffrey enter. He was wearing a simple black dress that fell just below his knees, paired with low heels. His hair, longer than she'd ever seen it, was styled in soft waves around his face. For a moment, Lily didn't recognize him. Then their eyes met, and she saw the familiar warmth and vulnerability in his gaze. It was Jeffrey, but a version of him she'd never known existed. Jeffrey approached the table hesitantly, his hands fidgeting with the strap of his purse. "Hello, Lily," he said softly. Lily stood, unsure of how to greet him. Should she hug him? Shake his hand? In the end, she simply gestured to the chair across from her. "Hello, Jeffrey. Please sit down." As Jeffrey took his seat, Lily couldn't help but notice how at ease he seemed in his feminine attire. There was a grace to his movements that she'd never seen before. "You look different," Lily said, immediately wincing at how inadequate the word seemed. Jeffrey chuckled nervously. "I suppose that's one way to put it." He paused, taking a deep breath. "Lily, I owe you an explanation. And an apology." Lily leaned forward, giving him her full attention. "I'm listening." Jeffrey nodded, gathering his thoughts. "I've been exploring this side of myself for a while now. It started small, just trying on a pair of pantyhose when no one was home, but it grew from there. I found that when I dressed in women's clothing, I felt more like myself than I ever had before." He looked down at his hands, his voice growing softer. "I should have told you years ago, but I was scared of losing you, of losing Emma, of what people would say, so I kept it hidden." Lily reached across the table, gently placing her hand over Jeffrey's. "Oh, Jeffrey, you must have been so lonely, carrying that secret all those years." Jeffrey looked up, surprised by the compassion in Lily's voice. "You're not disgusted, angry?" Lily shook her head. "Surprised, yes, but not disgusted or angry. I wish you had felt safe enough to tell me sooner, but I understand why you didn't." Relief washed over Jeffrey's face. "Thank you for being so understanding. I was terrified of how you'd react." Lily squeezed his hand gently before letting go. "Can I ask, is this why our marriage ended? Were you unhappy pretending to be someone you're not?" Jeffrey considered the question carefully. "It was part of it," he admitted, "but not all of it. We had other issues too, as you know. I think I needed to be on my own to really explore this side of myself." Lily nodded, processing his words. "And Emma, does she know?" A smile spread across Jeffrey's face. She does. She's been incredibly supportive. In fact, she's the one who encouraged me to talk to you about it. That sounds like our girl, Lily said with a proud smile. She's always had a big heart. They fell into a comfortable silence, each sipping their coffee and reflecting on the conversation. Finally, Lily spoke again. So, what do I call you now? Do you have a different name you prefer? Jeffrey shook his head. Jeffrey is still fine. I'm not looking to transition fully or anything. I like expressing myself this way sometimes. Lily nodded. All right, Jeffrey it is then. And thank you for trusting me with this. I know it couldn't have been easy. Jeffrey's eyes welled up with tears. Thank you for listening, for not judging. It means more than you know. As they continued talking, the initial awkwardness faded away. They found themselves laughing over shared memories, discussing Emma's latest accomplishments, and even swapping fashion tips. By the time they left the coffee shop 2 hours later, both felt a sense of renewed connection. Their relationship had changed, certainly, but perhaps for the better. There was a new honesty between them, a deeper understanding. As they parted ways outside the cafe, Lily surprised Jeffrey by pulling him into a warm hug. Take care of yourself, Jeffrey, she murmured. And don't be a stranger, okay? Jeffrey hugged her back, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. I won't, he promised. Thank you, Lily, for everything. They separated, each heading off in different directions. But as Jeffrey walked away, he felt lighter than he had in years. The secret that had burdened him for so long was finally out in the open, and while he knew there would be challenges ahead, he felt ready to face them. For the first time in his life, Jeffrey was truly being himself, and it felt wonderful. Over the next few weeks, Jeffrey found himself adjusting to his new reality. The fear of discovery that had haunted him for so long was gone, replaced by a sense of freedom he'd never known before. He began incorporating more feminine elements into his everyday wardrobe. A floral scarf here, a pair of women's jeans there. At first, he worried about the reactions of his coworkers and friends. But to his surprise, most people either didn't notice or didn't care. One sunny afternoon, Jeffrey decided to take a bold step. He put on a flowing maxi dress, applied some light makeup, and headed to the local park for a walk. As he strolled along the tree-lined paths, he felt a mix of exhilaration and nervousness. A group of children ran past, laughing and playing. An elderly couple nodded politely as they passed. A jogger gave him a friendly smile. Nobody pointed or stared. Jeffrey felt his confidence growing with each step. As he rounded a bend in the path, he spotted a familiar figure sitting on a bench ahead. It was Lily, engrossed in a book. Jeffrey hesitated for a moment, unsure whether to approach her or quietly slip away. Before he could decide, Lily looked up. Her eyes widened in recognition, then softened into a warm smile. She waved, beckoning him over. Jeffrey took a deep breath and walked towards her. Hello, Lily, he said, smoothing his dress nervously. Fancy meeting you here. Lily patted the bench beside her. Join me? It's such a lovely day. Jeffrey sat down, feeling a bit self-conscious. I hope I'm not interrupting your reading. Lily shook her head. Not at all. I was just about to take a break anyway. She glanced at Jeffrey's outfit approvingly. That dress looks lovely on you. The color really brings out your eyes. Jeffrey felt a blush creep up his cheeks. Thank you. I'm still getting used to wearing things like this in public. Lily nodded understandingly. It's a big step. How does it feel? Jeffrey considered the question. Scary, he admitted. But also right, like I'm finally letting the world see the real me. They sat in companionable silence for a while, watching people pass by on the path. Finally, Lily spoke again. You know, I've been thinking a lot about our marriage since our coffee shop talk. Jeffrey tensed slightly. Oh? Lily turned to face him. I realize now that there were signs. Little things I noticed but never quite understood, like how you always seemed more relaxed when we went shopping together, or how you'd linger in the women's section, admiring the dresses. Jeffrey nodded slowly. I tried so hard to hide it. I'm sorry for not being honest with you. Lily shook her head. Don't apologize. I understand why you couldn't tell me then. I just wish... I wish I had created an environment where you felt safe to be yourself. Jeffrey reached out, gently squeezing Lily's hand. It wasn't your fault. I wasn't ready to admit it to myself, let alone anyone else. Lily squeezed back. Well, I'm glad you're ready now, and I want you to know that I'm here for you, whatever you need, even if it's just someone to go shopping with. Jeffrey laughed, feeling a warmth spread through his chest. I might just take you up on that. Emma's great, but she doesn't quite share my taste in fashion. As they continued chatting, Jeffrey marveled at how easy it felt. Here he was, sitting in a public park wearing a dress, having a friendly conversation with his ex-wife. If someone had told him this would be his reality a year ago, he never would have believed it. The sun was starting to set when they finally stood to leave. This was nice, Lily said. We should do it again sometime. Jeffrey nodded. I'd like that. Maybe next time we can invite Emma too. Make it a family outing. Lily's eyes lit up. That sounds wonderful. I'm sure she'd love it. As they parted ways, Jeffrey felt a sense of peace settle over him. He had feared that embracing this part of himself would mean losing the important relationships in his life. Instead, it seemed to be bringing him closer to the people he loved most. Walking home in the fading light, Jeffrey felt truly content for the first time in years. He was Jeffrey. He was sometimes Jeffrina, and he was finally, completely himself. The weeks turned into months, and Jeffrey found himself settling into a new rhythm of life. He alternated between masculine and feminine presentation, depending on his mood and the occasion. His co-workers had been surprisingly accepting after an initial period of adjustment, and he'd even made some new friends in the local crossdressing community. One evening, as Jeffrey was getting ready for a night out with some of his new friends, his phone buzzed with a text from Emma. Hey, Dad, can we talk? It's important. Jeffrey felt a flicker of concern. He quickly typed back, Of course, sweetheart. Want to come over? Emma's response came quickly. On my way. Jeffrey glanced at his reflection in the mirror. He was wearing a sequined top and a black skirt, his face carefully made up. For a moment, he considered changing into something more traditionally masculine before Emma arrived. But then he shook his head, reminding himself that Emma had seen him like this before and had always been supportive. 20 minutes later, there was a knock at the door. Jeffrey opened it to find Emma standing there, looking slightly nervous. Come in, honey, Jeffrey said, ushering her inside. Is everything okay? Emma nodded, following him to the living room. Everything's fine, Dad. I have some news. They sat down on the couch, and Jeffrey turned to face his daughter. What is it? Emma took a deep breath. I've been offered a job in New York. It's a great opportunity, but it means moving across the country. Jeffrey felt a mix of emotions wash over him. Pride, excitement, and a touch of sadness. Oh, Emma, that's wonderful news. Tell me all about it. As Emma described the job offer and her plans for the move, Jeffrey listened attentively. He could see the excitement in her eyes, the way she lit up talking about the possibilities ahead of her. When she finished, Emma looked at her father hesitantly. Are you okay with this, Dad? I know we've gotten so much closer lately, and with everything you're going through... Jeffrey reached out, taking Emma's hands in his. Sweetheart, I am more than okay with this. I am so proud of you. This is an amazing opportunity, and you should absolutely take it. Emma's eyes welled up with tears. But what about you? I've been your support system through all of this. Who will you have when I'm gone? Jeffrey smiled softly. I'll be fine, Emma. You've given me the courage to be myself, to reach out to others. I have friends now, a community, and your mother and I are on good terms. I won't be alone. Emma nodded, wiping away a tear. I'm going to miss you so much. Jeffrey pulled her into a hug. I'll miss you too, sweetheart. But this is your time to shine. And you know, I'm only a phone call away if you need me. As they embraced, Jeffrey felt a surge of love for his daughter. She had been his rock through this journey of self-discovery, and now it was his turn to support her as she embarked on her own adventure. When they pulled apart, Emma looked at her father's outfit with a grin. Were you heading out somewhere? I hope I didn't interrupt your plans. Jeffrey chuckled. Just a night out with some friends. Jeffrey glanced at the clock. I was just about to head out, but I can cancel if you'd like to spend more time together. Emma shook her head. No, Dad, go have fun. I just wanted to share my news in person. We can catch up more before I leave. Jeffrey smiled, giving her a quick peck on the cheek. All right, sweetheart, I'll call you tomorrow and we'll make plans. With that, Jeffrey grabbed his jacket and headed out the door. The night air was cool and crisp, and he felt a thrill of anticipation as he walked to his car. He had been looking forward to this outing all week. Thanks for watching. The rest won't be viewable on YouTube, so check out Patreon if you want more. I hope you have a wonderful day, my cutie.